My name is Raya. Our lands have been at war for as long as we can remember. Our people never see eye to eye.
My daughter, I believe our people can come together again. But someone has to take the first step.
Now, in order to restore peace, we must find the last dragon.
I wish to join this fellowship of butt-kickery.
Let's go. We'll have to watch our backs. We're not the only ones looking. 6 years of searching. Please let this be it. Oh, mighty Sisu!
Who said that?
We really need your help.
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not like the best dragon. Have you ever done like a group project, but there's like that one kid who didn't pitch in as much, but still ended up with the same grade?
We're doomed.
You and the dragon are coming with me.
My sword here says we're not.
Aloha! This is Trinidad, the Island Man, your Island Man, coming to you live once again from beautiful Hawaii here on the island of Oahu, bringing you, yes you, the best movie reviews on the entire island of Oahu. And yes, this is Trinidad, the Island Man, your Island Man. And last night, opening night, Friday night, I went ahead and I saw Raya and the Last Dragon. And, well, remember our rating scale? Shaka thumbs up. It's good to see. I recommend it. Shaka thumbs down. It's junk. It's bad to see. I don't recommend it. And for Raya and the Last Dragon from Disney, it is a Shaka thumbs up. Now, this stars This stars Kelly Marie Tran from the new Star Wars movies, and also Awkwafina being the two major stars. Now, Kelly Marie Tran plays Raya, our heroine for this movie, and Awkwafina plays the dragon, the last dragon. And let me just say that she really shines in this movie, and Kelly Marie Tran does a great job as well. Now, you've seen the trailer I just showed you, and essentially the world has been pretty much decimated by this war with supernatural forces. Apparently, this thing called the Druid, which we find out is created from basically human anger, all the negativity from humans, basically, is what creates this Droog, magical force, which smothers the earth, turning everyone to stone. And essentially, it's up to the last dragons to fight against this supernatural force of the Droog and attempt to stop it from destroying the world, turning everyone, including other dragons, to stone. So there's like 5 remaining dragons. They all combine their power into some type of mystical crystal or ball of force, and that is where Awkwafina's dragon comes up and basically releases that force of energy after the other dragons are attacked and turned to stone, thus vanquishing the brood. And that takes place, that is the history of the world 500 years ago. And then so 6 years after that, basically where people have came and reclaimed the land once more from the Broog, since there are no more dragons. Basically, they have been warring amongst themselves for what people usually war over, more land, more power, more resources, except for one king in this Asian nation, which seems to be kind of like Thailand, Malaysia, Cambodia, around those type of areas. Even maybe a piece of Mongolia, a little bit there, from what we see of what we can maybe identify from the cultures and the dress of some of these characters throughout the movie. But Raya, her father, mainly I think Thailand. The enemies, predominantly from Fang, might be from Malaysia or Indonesia, etc. That type of dress seems to be fairly common, the architecture in the area, in this fictional world. That's what it seems to be mostly. So 6 years ago, after that 500-year stretch where the Brugg was destroyed, the crystal remained intact despite no dragons being around. And it was guarded by Raya's family, her father namely, and he's the king of his country of Heart. And he welcomes all the other leaders of the nations that are, pretty much at war, and wishes them to get back together. However, it is the daughter and the queen of Fang that launch this plot to steal the dragon crystal, because they feel that it gives Heart an unfair advantage of wealth and resources. And so they want it for themselves. In the midst of this, it is broken and shattered, and each nation, each leader of the nation is able to grab a piece of it and run back to their own nations. However, in its breakage, the Brugg are re-released and began to destroy the world once more, this time with no dragons in sight to attempt to stop them, unfortunately. So it is up to Raya, after her father is turned to stone, to attempt to find what she believes is the last dragon still around, but sleeping, and somehow get that dragon to repair maybe the crystal and send the Brugg away once more, returning everyone, including her father, back to life from stone. And so that's the overall plot of it. And I gotta say, it is a shock, a thumbs up. And again, Awkwafina does an amazing comedic job in this show. And Kelly Marie Tran also, having only seen her limited in those Star Wars movies, it's really nice to see her have a chance to grow and expand, a character. Since she is the major character, we can really see her strut her stuff in the show as far as an action hero goes. And there is a lot of action, there's a lot of lore and mythology in this. What it reminded me of primarily, right off the bat, was I felt like I was watching Avatar: The Last Airbender. Basically, because, the nation is separated, the world is separated into these warring nation states. As such, they're not going to be peaceful with one another, but wishing to maybe take over other nations in themselves, except for Heart, which you could say was the Air Tribe in a way. Now, and then as it further went along, especially once the Brugg were introduced and that tale was told, it felt very much more like, to me, maybe from the last Avatar into Korra and the Legend of Korra, but still along the Avatar myth. Especially that whole segment of the Legend of Korra where they do the spirit world is reestablished and reunited with, man's world, humankind, and thus the two have to coexist again. Being magic from dragons and this evil demonic like entity of the Brood taking over and turning everyone to stone. That's kind of what it felt like to me, that, you know, these spirits, these forces of supernatural kind have been released back onto the world, and it's up to Raya, very much like Korra, to rebalance the world once more. So that's where I draw that similarity between Avatar, you know, the mythology of Avatar, and Raya the Last Dragon. So any fans from Avatar or Korra and The Legend of Korra, you will definitely enjoy this movie. And also, I have to say, leaning more towards The Legend of Korra from the Avatar stories, there seemed to be, at least to me, I mean, you might call me nuts, but there seemed to be a little bit of an LGBTQ kind of mixture thrown in there between Raya and the daughter of the Queen of Fang, which is her main nemesis, and the one who caused the Brood to be back. She's the actual one that shattered the stone, the gem from the dragons, releasing the Brood back onto the world. And so very much like a Zuko character, you know, Raya is pitted directly against her after trying to befriend her at first and then betraying her, very much like a Zuko. You know, and then the two have to come together to reunite the world, again, very much like a Zuko character. But with both of them being female, there is a friendship that is established and reestablished again, kind of like Zuko having to change his evil ways, but again, much more like a Legend of Korra, with a Korra-sami between Korra and Asami, where there is maybe a little bit of a hint, a nod, a wink towards a little bit more of a relationship that could be budding. If it was not for this tragedy, the two could have become closer friends and then maybe moved into something more romantic, even at the very end where everything is concluded. And, you know, this is a Disney movie, so the world does not end in tragedy. You know, Raya saves it, but it is saved because they overcome their differences, and she becomes friends with the one who disrupted the world, their nemesis from Fang, and the two get close once more. And there are some shots, some scenes where they look deep into one another's eyes, and, you know, children may not pay much attention to it or notice it, and Disney certainly does not go out of its way to openly state what they are doing, but one can make the assumption, like myself, that, you know, there is something a little bit more than just a basic friendship right there. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, hey, Island Man, you know, not all strong females have to be gay or lesbians or whatever. You know, you're just reading into it. But, you know, I'm just saying that, you know, to me, that's what it felt like, very much so, especially having experienced, you know, the last Avatar's The Legend of Korra show, you know, not only with the mythology, not only with, like, the spirits and magic of dragons and other strange creatures like the Avatar world in this, especially the spiritual world that we saw in Legend of Korra with the Brood, you know, but also this kind of female-on-female romance, or a little bit of a smolder there. You know, maybe I'm nuts, maybe I read into it, but again, you know, I don't usually, you know, I wasn't looking for that. I wasn't going into this thinking, oh, you know, this is what this is going to be. And it's like, no, it just kind of, it's like, you know, as I was watching it, it's like, it made me kind of, you know, tilt my head a little bit. And it's like, are they doing this? Is Disney doing this? And it sure certainly seems like they were, even though they don't come out and say it at all. So, all right, so there you go. I mean, nothing bad about the movie at all. But, you know, I just want to let you guys know that, you know, there could be some conversations with more, more adult or grown-up children that might have a question towards this, and you might have to explain it if you haven't already explained it already to your children. You know, it could become a question that you might want to answer with your children about this movie. If you're a racist or something like that, you're not going to probably enjoy that movie because it hints at that. You're going to find that a lot more disengaging for you. But me, I had no problem with it. It is a great movie. The fantasy, action-oriented aspects of it are fantastic, and your children will be greatly entertained by the story. And again, Awkwafina is so funny. You can't help but make comparisons between, for me, the Avatar world and also probably Mulan, the animated movie, with that dragon, and Mulan, played by Eddie Murphy, to Awkwafina's dragon and Raya and the Last Dragon. Because both are played for comedic effects, and both silly like that, and absolutely splendid in every single way. All right, thank you so much. This is Trinidad the Island Man, your Island Man, here in Hawaii, giving Raya and the Last Dragon a strong shaka thumbs up. Go ahead and check it out. It is on Disney Plus for payment of $30. Now, within like a couple of months, that should come to free with your Disney Plus subscription. It is also playing over at your local theater if your local theaters are open. It is over at Consolidated downtown right now, and other Consolidated theaters around the island, again, if they're open. Regal is still closed, but once they open up in California, Regal says they should open up nationwide. All right, thank you so much. This is Trinidad, the Island Man, your Island Man, saying, yes, go see Raya and the Last Dragon. It is a strong shaka thumbs up. All right, thank you so much, and aloha.